Hi, it's Chef Rick, and today I'm making creamy chicken marsala. Okay, here we go. This one for me is the definition of comfort food. So we're going to start with chicken breast. I'm just going to trim off any of the excessy bits, any little bits of fat, any of those firm bits. Always feel your breasts or everywhere, and if there's any hard bits that you just want to chop off, do it. If you're going to slow cook it, you don't need to do any of this bit, but because you want every single mouthful to be perfect, always just take off any little bit of extras there. Any little kind of extra little bits of fat, just trim them off. And just keep feeling it all the way around. If you feel any firm bits or anything that you think is, you don't want, get rid. But that's like basically just cleaning and prepping the breast. Do that with both of them. And it doesn't matter really how you chop this, although I chop this into 4. So I'll chop the breast lengthways like that. And then once more again, this one I'll go in at a slight diagonal. Giving me 4 pieces per breast, which is, in my head, it's like 4 pieces per portion, but you can cut this up as strips, as cubes, however you really want to do it. But that's how I've done it with mine, and that's the chicken there prepared. Into this bowl now goes plain flour, black pepper, salt, onion powder, and garlic powder. Just makes a very, very, very quick and simple seasoned flour. Just mix that all around. That's it. And now in go your chicken breasts, and just toss them around there. Make sure they're completely covered. This is called dredging. So if you ever hear someone say dredge the chicken in flour, this is it. This is dredging. Whilst I'm doing that, you know what I'm going to ask. If you like my videos, please click like and also click subscribe. It's free for you, but it's really great for me. So if you could please click like and subscribe to my videos, I'd really appreciate it. That chicken's now been dredged, and we'll leave that until we're ready to cook it. Mushrooms, take some wild mushrooms. I do not like mushrooms, but I love this recipe. So if you don't like mushrooms, maybe this would be the first one you want to start on. You don't need to add the mushrooms, but once you get them, chop them up so they're that thin, as I've shown you there. So that's the mushrooms chopped and ready to go. That's a 1/4 pint of chicken stock, which I top up to a full pint with Marsala wine, and that just makes a really kind of rich fortified winey stock. Again, you could use Marsala wine, you could use port, you could use anything, any sort of fortified wine. Parsley, it asks for a handful of parsley. So what's a handful of parsley? That's the parsley as it comes. I will always take out the bigger sticks. This is really easy because it's not too many, but any sticks or twigs like that, just get rid of them. They're fine, they're full of flavour. If you were going to really chop this up super finely, leave those in. But for the purpose of this dish, I get rid of them. You don't want it catching in your teeth or just in the corner of your mouth. It's just something that you don't like. So it's just a little bit fussy. You don't need to get rid of those, but do it. Then take the remaining leaves and everything and crush them up as small as you can before you start chopping. Just makes it much easier to chop. Chop down, bring it together, and just work your way through it. Just keep chopping it slowly but surely. Yes, it's going to stick to the knife as these things do, but just keep working. You don't want to over chop this. If you kept on chopping it forever, you'd end up making like a paste. You don't want to do that. You just want to have it all chopped. Sliding down the knife, I've done that deliberately in slow motion to show you that when I slide my finger down the knife, I am going nowhere near the blade. I'm sliding like down and away. So you watch my finger how I do it. So I'm cleaning the knife, but I'm sliding down and off the blade. I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. Do not slide your finger down the length of a knife for obvious reasons. Garlic. So take some garlic cloves, and the first thing I'll do is just top and tail them. So I'll just take the very top and the very bottom off the garlic cloves, and then I'll peel off the outside. Crush them with the edge of a knife. Bring them all together and just work across. Just keep going back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. Take as long as you need on this. You want really nicely chopped up pieces of garlic. The longer you do it, the smaller the garlic's going to get, obviously. But there's no special technique. Just time and effort. Just keep going back and forth until in the end you've got a lovely mixed minced garlic like that. Once more, sliding down the knife, and there we go. So that's the garlic. So now in a frying pan on around about a medium heat. On the left there is the tagliatelle that we're serving this with. You can serve any pasta, rice or anything with this dish. I've just done a tagliatelle which is now cooked and sat over on the left. So ignore that pan of tagliatelle. We're going to focus on the pan I'm working on there, which I'm melting butter in, and I've just added olive oil. Use olive oil and butter whenever you're frying something off, just because olive oil stops the butter from burning. If you have it on a really high heat, the butter will still brown. So keep it on a medium heat and use extra virgin olive oil and an unsalted butter. But you can see now it's kind of bubbling away really nicely. And to that pan, we're going to add the chicken pieces. And once you've put them in, kind of don't play around with them too much. You want them to get a little bit of a crust on them, quite a light crust, but a crust nonetheless. So yeah, don't mess around with them too much. Let them sit, let them find themselves in a pan. Yeah, so they've been in there for probably about 5 or 10 minutes on one side, and now I'm just going to turn them over. If, by the way, when you pick them up and you look on the other side and they haven't really cooked at all, good, like that one there, leave it. Just let it be. There's no time limit on this. You know that if it's not really browned off nicely, chances are it's not going to be cooking through nicely. So if you don't think it's ready to turn over, leave it. Leave it and just turn the other ones. That's it. So now, just going to let these cook. Lovely and brown, and I can tell there's a bit of a hot spot in my pan in the middle. So that one that I didn't think had cooked perfectly, I've moved to the middle of the pan. And again, you'll know with your own pans whether there's hot spots or not. Now it's had about 5 minutes on the other side, so it's starting to get nice and brown. I'll show this camera there, but in a minute I'll show the other camera. It just makes it a bit clearer as to what we're dealing with and the type of colour that we want on this chicken. You obviously want it to cook through, although it is going to get a final cook in the sauce. But you don't want to burn it. You don't want it to cook it too quickly, because you don't want the outside to go too dark or to get like a really hard crust on it. And that is what you want your chicken to look like. Really, really beautiful. Cooked through, but not burnt. Nice bits of brown on it. Firm to the touch. And we're just going to transfer it over here to some tin foil. But yeah, that I would say is absolutely perfect, perfect colour. That's happened because you've used the seasoned flour on there as well. Don't forget, that's why it's got that lovely colour on it, and that's why it's found a bit of a crust. Wrap it up in the tin foil and leave that on the side whilst we are going to prepare the sauce. So just leave that on the side. The heat is going to stay inside. It's obviously going to continue cooking ever so slightly. So to that same pan, do not clean the pan before the next stage, because you're going to have all that lovely flavour in there and some remainder of the olive oil and butter mixture. So you're going to add the mushrooms to it, chopped mushrooms. Keep working this now. Do some stove work, as you say, so stay over the top of it and just keep mixing it as you're going around. Those mushrooms are going to absorb that oil and butter really, really quickly, so add another little knob of butter. I'll do that in just a second. But you can see straight away they'll take on all the colour and the flavour that was in that pan. So I'm just going to now add just another knob of butter to that pan. And now we're going to mix in the mushrooms and the butter. Sorry, I had to take a call there. My dad was ringing. If your mum or dad rings, always answer the phone. You never know when it's going to be the last call with him. So yeah, always take that call. And here we go. I'm just going to keep mixing down the mushrooms. They're going to shrink and going to absorb flavour. They're going to smell absolutely amazing. Me, like I said earlier on, I don't even like mushrooms, but the flavour is so delicious and the smell's coming off there. You can't argue with them. You know, it will turn you into a mushroom lover. Then goes the garlic. So now you've got the mushroom and the garlic in the pan. The garlic doesn't go in at the start. As with all my recipes, garlic goes in a little bit later because it can burn. So you just want it to start heating through and imparting flavour. In with the stock. That was the stock and Marsala mixture. So that goes in. Mix everything around, and now you can just relax a little bit because that's got to take some time. You want that to reduce by half. If you hear that in a recipe reduced by half, it means the amount that you've put in, you want to get to about half of that. And what's going to happen is the steam's going to come off. As we always say, steam is water. Water leaving a sauce is thickening that sauce. So you just want that sauce to thicken. So just keep working it around. As we always do, we'll just drag across the middle of the pan so you can see how thick that sauce is getting. That's getting to, it's still lovely and liquid, but it's certainly thickened. You can see now I've been cooking this probably for about 15-20 minutes. And now it's time to add double cream. Add the double cream very, very slowly. If you add too much double cream, very quickly it sucks all the flavour out. It takes away all the flavour of the stock and the Marsala. It's a lovely creamy dish, but it's not. It won't have that Marsala flavour to it. So just add it slowly. That's it. That's all the cream that I add. And always with all the food, with everything that you do, taste it at every stage, and you'll tell. There we go. Right on cue, I taste it, and I can tell. Yeah, there's still plenty of Marsala in there. Although the sauce is still absolutely lovely, and there's still lots and lots of sauce in there. Now we add that chicken back to the sauce. And make sure it's well coated. Just keep covering it up and make sure that all those chicken pieces are coated in the sauce. They're going to impart flavour into the sauce, and that sauce is going to impart flavour into the chicken. It's making me very, very hungry watching this, because I can remember how delicious it was. Like I say, this is probably my favourite comfort food. The chopped up parsley, most of it, you're going to leave a little bit chopped up in there just for decoration at the end. But put most of it in there now because it's flavour and obviously colour to the sauce that you're making. Keep moving that chicken around, making sure that no bits are staying in a hot spot for too long. Want it all cooked through. You don't want big chunks of parsley stuck to any bits either. So just keep moving it around. Bring it over to show the better camera. Look at that. That's what you're dealing with. And I say it in all my videos, but the smell that comes off this, it's incredible. And that's the ultimate comfort food in my opinion. So that's it. At that stage, it's done. Do what you want with it. But I am going to add some tagliatelle. Whenever I'm cooking with any pasta, we always add it to the sauce, and we add it bit by bit because, again, you don't want it to suddenly zap all the sauce and be left with, no sauce for your pasta and your chicken. But in the bottom, you see how we do it in all of our pasta videos. We always retain some of that pasta water because pasta water is an amazing way to just bring a sauce back to life if you've slightly thickened it too much. And you're in control as well, so just add bit by bit. And that is creamy chicken marsala done. It's the ultimate comfort food. It's absolutely delicious. Portion it up. Don't try and get too pretty with it, but don't forget to try and be fair with the chicken because the chicken and the pasta's all mixed in. So make sure everyone gets the correct portion size. Leave a little bit as well in the kitchen. Leave a little bit so people can say, is there any more of that? You can say, yeah, there is. Go in the kitchen and get it. Sprinkle with parsley, little drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. That is creamy chicken masala. I really hope you make it, and I really hope you love it. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please hit like, please hit subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.